1917 Central African Time. You're still listening to Africa Digest with myself, Samora Magesi, on this lovely Wednesday evening. Now, South Africa has been urged to invest in female entrepreneurs to assist in the country's socio-economic recovery. Now, the call comes from wealth management specialist Citadel. 19.4% of business owners in South Africa are women, and that is only a 0.2% climb since 2019. Now, to discuss this further, we're joined on the line by female entrepreneurship expert and Citadel Advisory Partner, Kirsten Smith. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Samora. It's great to be with you.
Now, Kirsten, why is it important to invest in female entrepreneurs?
So, Samora, the World Bank regularly reports that women are critical for job creation. South Africa is no exception and needs to invest in its female entrepreneurs because they have a critical role to play in the country's socio-economic recovery. It's proven that greater economic participation by women stimulates economies, reduces poverty, and creates jobs. According to research by Development Economics, South Africa women-owned businesses established between 2018 and 2022 may generate an estimated 175 billion rand a year and create close to 1 million jobs. That's nothing to laugh at. And then secondly, a McKinsey Global Institute study found that advancing women's equality could add $12 trillion to the global economy by 2025.
Now, Kirsten, we hear the benefits of why we need to invest in female entrepreneurs, but what has been the challenges that have been facing women entrepreneurs that they have not been at the forefront?
So I think the major challenges involve lack of funding and resources and skills training. So those tend to be the greatest challenges. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at the facts, women-led businesses around the world still don't have equal access to capital. Less than 3% of venture capital-backed businesses in the States are women-led. And South African women, if you look at them in particular, they've traditionally struggled with less access to capital and fewer assets than their male counterparts. And not owning property makes it harder for women to offer collateral for business loans. And then there's a major caregiver penalty. Women are far more likely than men to take time off to care for kids and family members, and that's become even more prevalent now during COVID.
And when we speak about the critical role in food security that women play, can you elaborate on this?
Absolutely. So the UN recently noted the essential role that women play in transforming society's agri-food systems and ensuring that societies gain greater, more sustainable food security in the aftermath of the pandemic. Women feed their communities and create essential agriculture and food-related economic activity. So their importance in South Africa's food economy cannot be discounted. More than 60% of employed women in sub-Saharan Africa work in agriculture. Women also account for around 70% of smallholder farmers in the region, yet only about 17% of landowners in sub-Saharan Africa are female, and women also receive less than 10% of available credit and 7% of credit extension services. And so in South Africa, the investment community needs to become more alert to the fact that women play an essential role in the food security supply chain and deserve to be supported through investment.
Now, the pandemic has hit women in Africa hard. Can you tell us exactly what we're looking at?
So women have made up 2/3 of the job losses during the pandemic. The global 2021 MasterCard Index of Women Entrepreneurs, which tracks across 58 economies, found that a staggering 87% of female business owners globally felt adversely affected by the pandemic. And by the end of October 2020, South African business liquidations were up by 33.2% over the third quarter, representing a 20.8% year-on-year increase in liquidations. That was according to Stats SA. And then in South Africa, 59% of female-owned businesses were in sectors hardest hit by the economic downturn, such as retail, restaurants, food shops, and domestic services.
And why is it that men remain more likely to be entrepreneurs than women?
Shamora, I think it links back to that previous question where you referred to the challenges that women face. But I think I just want to place it in some context. So Africa, interestingly enough, is ranked the top continent globally in terms of female entrepreneurship. but women are still in the minority in South Africa's entrepreneurial landscape. And although more than half of South Africa's population is female, only 34% of small and medium enterprises are women-led. But the good thing is that trend is improving. The number one barrier still holding most women back from starting their own business is access to funding, and that's then followed by family and caring responsibilities. But I think the point that I really want to drive home with you and your listeners is that all these challenges present opportunities. So global research empirically shows that women's success is tied to the success of our communities and economies as a whole. And female entrepreneurship is a catalytic agent of change. With all the challenges facing South Africa right now, we need to invest more in women, not less. And there are opportunities. So the global COVID-led boom in e-commerce presents a massive growing opportunity for female business owners. But for women to take full advantage of the rapid digitalization brought on by the pandemic, they need greater access to affordable internet and digital resources in this country. And then obviously another place where we can make a difference in the face of female entrepreneurship is in the sphere of funding via South Africa's multiple female-focused government and private programs and funds. At the moment, the ones leading the charge here include the Industrial Development Corporation's Women Entrepreneurial Fund, the Business Partners Women in Business Fund, the Isevande Women's Fund, and the Enablers Acceleration Fund. Female entrepreneurs inspire other women to start businesses. This leads to more job creation for women, which ultimately helps in reducing the gender gap in the workforce. When women become successful in a field, the next generation of women is more likely to emulate their success. And Samora, I think my wish is that we can all help play our part in creating a groundswell of female entrepreneurship, and in doing so create a tailwind for South Africa's socio-economic recovery.
All right, Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us. I think this chat has been very enlightening.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me, Samora. Have a lovely evening.
You too. And that was female entrepreneurship expert and Citadel Advisory Partner, Kirsten Smith.